Hello and welcome back to Fancy Football. And this is our weekly Premier League prediction for week 33. And with me on the show today is no other than Osiogo. Osiogo, good afternoon. It's been a long time.
Good afternoon. It's been a while. I'm happy to be here, Philip.
Yeah, it's good to have you on the show. You are
Thank you so much.
one of the pioneer analysts on Fancy Football, but you've been AWOL for a long time. So, let's look at what we have for week for weekend 34 of the Premier League. We have a host of matches, including the FA Cup as well, attached to these predictions as well. But meanwhile, how has football been this season?
Well, football has just been football for you this season. For football has always been that particular game that you can't predict. It's like the British weather. You can't say what the weather is going to look like in a day. Like you always say, you can have four of the weathers in just
You
one
can
day.
have forward us.
So that is what happens also with the British football or with English football, yeah, whereby you can have the good, the bad, and the ugly on a Saturday, and also have
Exactly.
a different ball game altogether on a Sunday. So English football has just continued to be English football. It has not fallen short of giving us surprises, giving us upset, giving us enough talking points every now and then to discuss.
Okay. Looking at this week Premier League matches, let's start with Luton Town. Luton Town, Brentford. Luton Town are hoping to see if they could survive the drop. If you look at their position on the table, they are just a place above. They are in the relegation zone, and they want to see if they could come out of the relegation zone this weekend as they host Brentford. Luton Town at home. I don't know. No, I think fewer teams have gone to the Luton Town Stadium and see if they could get a win, and they've struggled. Even the big teams have gone there. Coming into this match, looking at what happened last week, Brentford had a win. Luton Town also played away against Man City and they were battered. So, what do you expect from Luton Town this week against Brentford?
Luton Town is a team, as I almost said, it's a town. Luton Town is a
Mhm.
team that I would have loved for them to remain in the English Premier League. But as it stands, it seems the universe itself is against them. And things are not going well for them. Football this season is not going well for them. And they might have to, do their business in the championship. And that is a team that has got two Nigerians, one in Debayo and one Chidoze Ogbene, although they are not fully, registered players for Nigerian football, either as underage players or as senior team players, but they are of Nigerian descent. But talking about the football properly, Luton Town is a team that unfortunately we have to, do that business elsewhere. And playing against Brentford, Brentford is also is a team that last season they did well, but this season reverse is the case. Seeing them in 15th position is not something I would have expected from that team. But like we said, football, it is what it is. Some days are good, some days are bad. And playing against Luton Town after having that very good win, especially that goal that was scored by our own midfielder, Frank the Tank Oyenka, in that
Yeah.
particular game last weekend for them, their morale will be boosted a long way, are going to play a less fancy team like Luton Town, and I think they are about to compound the woes of Luton Town.
Okay, I look at your prediction and you predicted a 2-1 win for Luton Town. Why?
Yes, I'm giving them the benefit of doubt. I think that's why I said on the face value, one want to think Brentford will compound their woes, but on the table or in our minds, most of us know that it's always difficult playing against teams that are in the relegation zone. They will fight dirty. They will throw mud at you. And playing at home, they somewhat have been, making that place like the best place where they could win games at home. And playing against a Brentford side that is 15th on the table, it might be a very difficult one for them in that game. So I see them probably, if mother luck is with them, escaping with a 2-1 victory, taking the all 3 points. But the other part of my mind is telling me that it might end up in a draw also for them. But the best case scenario for me is seeing them winning that match by 2-1.
Okay, 2-1 for Luton Town against Brentford. Okay, quickly, let's move on to the next game that features Sheffield United and Burnley. Burnley, the story of Burnley is just too saddening, despite having to sign players from clubs like Man City on loan, clubs like Chelsea on loan.
Which player did they sign from City?
They took one player and signed one other. They signed James Trafford, the goalkeeper. I think he's currently injured now. I think they also took one player again from Man City as well. So, but you look at Burnley as a team. Look at where they are in the 19th position, and they only have one win in their last 5. 3 draws and 1 loss. You might think it's a good run of form for them, but they are still in 19th position, 20 points currently. How do you think Burnley as a team should approach this match against Sheffield United, who are also 20th on the log, with no wins in their last 5, 3 draws and 2 losses? So this is a relegation battled match, and for anybody that wins, we just have that pride. It won't change their position, to be frank, but anything that win will have that pride that have beaten this team, either Burnley or Sheffield. So how do you think these two teams will fare at the end of the day when this match is being played?
That's why I predicted a 2-2 draw for the both of the for the team in this game. This is the battle for who will be the king at bottom place. So whoever loses becomes the king at becomes the 20th club on the log. Whoever loses in that game at the end of the season, that is where I see this. The team for who will be the worst team of the season. This is the battle. Burnley against Sheffield United. The Blades, which we know Sheffield United as, is one team that a particular Nigerian was very, very interested in. But unfortunately, he was not able to get that club. I don't know. The Nigerian might be very, very happy that he didn't put his money in this kind of business, because it's becoming bad debt as it stands. And they're talking about Burnley. Burnley is a team which I would have loved also to progress in the EPL. Why? For obvious reason, we have a Vincent Kompany as the coach of that team. I've always rooted for black men to be in the English Premier League. I've always rooted for a black man to be one of the top coaches in the EPL. Don't blame me for that. But at the end of the day, it is not what I wish that is happening. And they being second to the last, like we say, is not going well for them. It's not going well for even their fans. It's not going well for the team at the same time. Having just a partly 20 point as against the 16 points of Sheffield United, it speaks volume. And it tells you that, in the few games to come, these teams will be certified to have been officially relegated to the championship. They played 3 games. That is Burnley, unlike Sheffield has played 32. So if they play 3 games after tomorrow's game, it remains 4 games. 4 games to go. And tell me, are they going to win those 4 games? Even if they win those 4 games, mathematically, do you think they're going to qualify? That is a big question. So unofficially, they are relegated. Officially, they are not relegated. Talking about Burnley.
Okay, I think for Sheffield, I think we'll find out over the weekend if they will be relegated.
If they actually lose that game this weekend, I think it's goodbye. In fact, and it has a way of affecting the morale of the players too. Okay.
Yeah, I think for Burnley, if you ask me where their problems started from, is a lack of finance to sign players. They didn't really do the business last summer. You can even hear of Vincent Kompany coming out and saying that this team in the future can do well, but currently the team can't really perform because the club doesn't have that financial power like what Nottingham Forest had when they came up, and also the likes of the likes of Bournemouth as well when they came up. So I just feel that they can really go back and do their homework once they are relegated, which will be certified maybe in some few weeks to come. They can really go back and do their homework to ensure that the club financially are stable. We all know what is really going around in the EPL now with point deduction left, right, center. Club are really cautious of spending money currently now or overspending money. So we also had, and there's statistics out there that for the past 3 seasons, if I'm right, that clubs have paid over 600 million pounds, 600 million pounds only to agents. So you can see that financially it is not healthy for the league. So something needs to be done. So that's my take about Burnley. And your prediction say 2-2. We hope that you get that one right at the end of the day, so that
I'm not a good gambler. Otherwise,
I know.
I would have been a millionaire or a billionaire by now. And again, I would have helped a lot of people that come to me. See, you're a sports journalist. Please tell us, what is the game going to look like this weekend?
Exactly.
Collecting my 10%.
Okay, now to Wolves versus Arsenal. I look at this match and I see a potential banana peel, and I'll tell you why I see a potential banana peel at the end of the day in this match. Maybe you might know as well that Arsenal coming into the last maybe 7 to 10 matches to the end of the league don't particularly do well, especially in the month of April. but that's the reality. But I know Arsenal fans will be shaking. I know Arsenal fans will be shaking their head.
What is the yardstick? Was it like this
It was like this. It was like this last season.
I think that you have to go and look that up too themselves to.
No, they have to. But don't worry. Maybe we'll have time to talk about this with any Arsenal fan that cares to come to the.
Nonso should be handy for that.
But he knows. Nonso knows as well. But when you look at Arsenal currently, we saw them lost against Aston Villa last week, and you expected them to win. Second on the table with 71 points. You expected them just to win, and this is their first loss. Their first loss in their last 5 matches. It has been all win from January to date. But their first loss in their last 5 matches, they were ousted by Bayern Munich in the Champions League yesterday. So what do you think we should expect from this Arsenal side? A win for Arsenal will give them more confidence, knowing that City will be playing in the FA Cup this weekend, and knowing that also Liverpool will be away to Fulham with the recent form of Liverpool as well. Do you think that Arsenal have a chance to beat Wolverhampton Wanderers, who are also a very elusive side? We don't really know what Wolves side that will turn up, especially with the numbers of injuries that they've had in their team. And since they were ousted by Coventry City in the FA Cup, they've just been popping up wins here and there. They lose one, win one, draw one. That's how it has been. So what's your take?
Okay, starting with Arsenal, against Wolves, a very elusive side, like you said. Arsenal are going to be having a very tough one in the weeks ahead. Arsenal, I don't know where you got your stats from anyway, but it seems like what has been happening with Arsenal when they get towards to the end of the season, when they inch closer to the end of the season, I don't know if it's fatigue, I don't know if it's what I would call psychological effect, having on them that look at the cup, it's closer. The pleasure of winning after not winning a long time. I can't tell. It will take a psychologist to be able to tell us what is mentally wrong with Arsenal. Arsenal behaved like that particular young man that left the trenches and suddenly hit jackpot. And while enjoying this jackpot, he forgot about his neighbors, his friends in the trenches. He started living that like that.
Oh my God! Oh my God! These
And
are Arsenal fans are going to come for. They are going to come for
when
your head.
but I'm just telling you, when the money finished, then he became sober. That is what is happening to Arsenal fans right now. When they were miraculously, they topped the table. They said, "You can win this. We can win it." I spoke to one of our senior bosses when I was in Nigeria a few weeks back, Mr. Innocent and Mr. Lawrence, and they were filled with this optimism that it's us. I told them, we know you guys are not going to win this. My coach, a coach I believe so much in, also Milo has said this, that you guys are never going to win this. He said this on Michael Obi's podcast, Obi-Wan podcast.
Oh my
Forget
goodness!
about it. Arsenal
Yeah.
is not going to win the league. And he said this as far back as last year, confidentially, with so much confidence rather, that Arsenal are not going to win the league. They don't have that, a championship mentality. And that is what is playing out. You guys had everything in your grasp. You were winning. You were top of the table. Until last week, they were on top of the table.
Yeah.
And had everything going well for them. But they played against Aston Villa. They didn't lose by one goal. If it was one goal, you say, yeah, it was a mistake. Mother luck didn't shine on them. But losing by 2 goals speaks volume, tells you that Arsenal have lost it. Having played a 2-2 draw with Bayern Munich uh, last week, one would have thought going to the week would be easier for them because I never saw them winning playing a draw against Bayern. I thought Bayern were going to run riot against them because of that. Having that Champions League mentality, more bigger life or more. A top team, a top Champions League team
Yeah.
playing against a team that until recently has not been sorry has not been to the champion to the what's it called UEFA Champions League, but reverse is the case. But all in all, Arsenal, I don't want to say it's over because it's not over until the Fatu
It's
man
over.
does what again. So it's not over
Yeah.
for them. I'm not going to say it's over for them because the Fatu man is here to sing. And
Yeah.
again, talking about Wolves, it used to be a team that most of the big boys used to be afraid of, and I think they're gradually getting back to that. Their killer instinct. They are going to be playing against us now, and I'm giving to Wolves this time around. They played against their former coach, Espirito Santos last weekend, talking about Nottingham against Wolves, and we saw how the game panned out also. So playing against Arsenal, like you said, they lost last night. Going to
Yeah.
the weekend, where is their winning mentality going to be? That's the big question.
Okay. A 2-1 victory for Wolverhampton Wanderers. That's your prediction. Let's see how that one goes for Arsenal this weekend. Okay, for those watching us on Fancy Football, kindly subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell to help us support this channel. Thank you so much if you do. And uh, just to let you know that we are fast approaching the 1,000 subscribers pretty soon. So just subscribe to Fancy Football. Next up is at the Goodison Park, where Everton host Nottingham Forest. And let me tell you, I call this game the point deduction game because these two teams have been hammered points deduction from the Premier League for not balancing their books. Um, your prediction is a 2-1 victory for Everton at home. If we look at Everton in their recent running towards the end of the Premier League, they are 16th position with one win in their last five, one draw and 3 defeats. For Nottingham Forest, sitting 17th, just a place behind Everton, one win in their last five, 3 draws, 1 defeat. So you can say that Nottingham Forest going to this match have the momentum. 26 points for Nottingham Forest, 27 points for Everton, and both of these clubs have appealed their point deduction, depending on what will happen at the end of the season, when the appeal committee will sit down and look at this issue brought to them from these respective clubs. But this matter have to be settled on the pitch with regards to what happened at the end of the season. So do you think that Nottingham Forest, looking at their form, have the upper hand, or do you think Everton at home will go into this match with full confidence, knowing that the win will take them to 30 points?
Okay, Everton is a team that was flying high, and believe me, if not for the point deduction, they should be higher than where they are right now. Sean Dyche we should even give it up to Sean Dyche. He was doing a good job with that team. But who are you, a man, a woman, that will have something like that happen to you, point deduction, that won't affect your psyche? And it's so unfortunate for them. The case of Everton and Nottingham Forest is like the case of Bobrisky and Chief Priest Kubana. One went to EFC detention and from there was jailed. One went to EFC detention and from there got paid. So it depends on you. Are you a big boy? Or are you a small boy? So in this case, Nottingham Forest and Everton are not big boys of the league. We all know that the bigger teams, I don't want to mention their names, have fallen foul of this kind of rule, and they've escaped with as something as easy or something as soft as a slap on the wrist. And right now we have Nottingham and Everton, I know, having hard point deduction for them, which might affect them. But again, the silver lining is that other teams should be careful in the sense that, especially the teams at the relegation zone, this committee will not be personal verdict at the end of the season. And if you're counting Everton, Nottingham as a team that you say, okay, yeah, they will go to relegation, and you don't do well, if they got their points restored, and it has happened before, though not with the EPL, it has happened in England, in Italy with Juventus. So there
Yeah,
might be a precedent here in the EPL. So if they get their points restored to them, and you think you are ahead of them at the top of the table, you might bite your finger at the end of the day. So it's a tricky one. In fact, this is the real banana peel. If you don't take time, you might have yourself to blame at the end of the day. So coming back to that game, yeah, I want to give it to Everton against Nottingham Forest. I see Sondage has been doing a good job in that team, though they were poor also of recent. But going against another team, coincidentally, they are 16th and 17th on the log. So going against themselves again, just like what we have with 17 and 19 and 20 with Burnley
yeah,
and Sheffield. These two teams, I want to give it to Everton. I think Everton will carry the day at the end of the end of the game.
yeah. You give it to Everton 2-1, 2-1 victory to Everton.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move to the Selhurst Park, where Crystal Palace will host West Ham. I look at Crystal Palace and I look at what have happened to them this season. They changed their manager, brought in this guy from Germany to come oversee Roy Hodgson. At a certain point, we know what Roy Hodgson have done for Crystal Palace, but I think it was time for him to go, and rightly so. The club decided to part way with him because I think he was old, aging as well, and having series of sickness. When we look at Crystal Palace, after 32 matches on the log, they have won just one, two draws, and two losses. You look at West Ham, which everybody expected them to be firing from all cylinders, regardless that they lost their talisman last season, Declan Rice to Arsenal, and also they did won the Europa Conference League as well. You look at them, 48 points, just 1 point behind United, sitting 8th position. But still, the West Ham fans they are not really satisfied. They feel that they can really do more. They've seen Aston Villa, they've seen Tottenham, where the positions are, but they believe they can also do more than this team. They believe that they can go much more higher, and they don't believe in the current manager, David Moyes. Do you think going to this match, David Moyes will prove his doubters wrong, or do you really think that you will stick with your prediction for a Crystal Palace win, knowing fully well that Crystal Palace they begin to play the way the current manager wants them to play?
Okay, West Ham. Let me start with West Ham. West Ham was a team that had the very best of season last year, last football season.
Yeah.
In a long time, they've not had such a season. becoming the first English team to win uh, the second year. Yeah, it is the second year of the Europa
Yeah,
Conference
conference.
also because Mourinho won the first season. So one would have expected them to build on the momentum, having done good previous season. So I see reason why the fans are not happy with David Moyes. But tell me, which coach do you think you can get in the European market that will want to take care of Everton and I say Everton because Moyes and Everton that want to take over from Moyes and take that team top? To me, they should just give him that time again because he almost lost his job also some years back, some months
Yeah,
back, rather, before he even started doing well. Him having this slum in fortune doesn't mean it's the end of the world for both the teams and both the fans and the team. So they should give him that opportunity. Though the season is about to get wrapped up, but we just after the weekend's game, just 4 more games to go. So I understand that frustration, but patience is always the key here. Then talking about their opponent right now, Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace will be a team that most Liverpool fans will not forgive. They put, I don't want to say complete paid, but they made sure that the league, winning the league, was taken away from the grasp of Liverpool. And you have to see the game last weekend. It was a beauty to watch if you don't want Liverpool to win. I didn't want
yeah.
Liverpool to win actually, and I enjoyed the games so far. So playing against themselves now, I predicted that it's going to be a very slim one because both teams are very very top notch as you speak in terms of form. And we can see Billy Eze doing the lost job against Liverpool. I want to see more from him. Michael Olise, I want to see more from him. For West Ham, well, I want to wish them luck, but I see this weekend going the way of Crystal Palace. And remember,
Crystal
it's a London
Palace.
derby. It's a London
Yeah,
derby.
it's a London derby.
A
Yeah,
less
a London
fancy
derby.
London derby. You can
Derby.
imagine.
Okay, yeah, let's move on to Aston Villa, the team of the moment. The team that just cracked one other
How
team
would you
from
say the team
London.
of the moment? What about Crystal Palace?
uh, both of them are the team of the moment. But
For
let's move on.
Manchester
Let's
City
move
fans,
on.
especially,
Exactly. Yeah, the City fans will be
they opened
singing.
the way.
Yes. So, but let's move on to the match between Aston Villa and Bournemouth. Aston Villa went to Arsenal last week, sorry, and they had a win, a very beautiful win. Nobody saw it. Nobody saw that coming. Even though that was on the show last week, give a 4-0 to Arsenal, but nobody saw that coming. Bournemouth
If
hosted
football was
Manchester.
that easy for us to predict, by now we should be big time gamblers winning money.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
enough for
But
a journalist to just come out and say this course,
yeah.
this course I'm giving you, on a good day I won't give this course. I only tell you I don't like it, but just for optics' sake, let's just go along with them. Nobody
Yeah.
should
Let's
owe
go
me.
along.
Nobody should quote me next week.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody will quote you. Uh, let's for Aston Villa, like I said last time out, we all know what happened at the Emirates Stadium, the 2-0 victory. Nobody saw that coming. For Burnley, they've had a very beautiful season. They drew last week with United, well, 2-2. But if you look at Aston Villa, if they win this weekend, I think they will seal their place to next season UEFA Champions League. 63 points. All they need is 3 points to seal that place, sitting fourth position with just 2 wins in their last five, 2 draws, and one loss. Sorry, 13th position for Burnley currently now. They've played 32 matches, 42 points, 3 wins in their last five. A very good run of form. Uh, 1 draw and 1 loss. I think this match is a very good matchup for Aston Villa. They will relish the occasion. Looking at what happened to them last week with that victory that have boosted their confidence, and also we remember that there was a certain Emery on Arsenal books last time 2 seasons or 3 seasons ago. No, way back in 2018. Yeah, sorry, way back in 2018, a certain Emery was in that book. So, and I have loved the job Unai Emery has done. Uh, he has really brought this Villa side, make them compact, make them very very difficult to play through and to play against. And he's reaping very, very marvelous, a marvelous time with Villa. So your prediction for this match is a 2-0 victory for Villa against Bournemouth. But I see Bournemouth, Solanke is on form, Kravet is on form. The coach is trying to ensure that he has he have a very good team, despite we are coming to the running of the season. Do you think that Villa will go on beating Bournemouth at the end of the day?
Okay. Let me take you back a little because I can see time is really running. Let me take you back a little. Last weekend match was a time of revenge for Unai Emery, and you're forgetting somebody also.
In the Villa team?
Yes.
A certain player that plays for Aston, for Arsenal.
A certain member, a certain player that's featured for Arsenal before. In Aston
Villa team. Okay, maybe I might have forgotten.
Emiliano Martinez. The goalkeeper.
Yes, Emiliano Martinez, exactly. Yes, as a former Arsenal
goalkeeper. So it was a two-pronged revenge for just one team against Arsenal. So whatever they can do to inflict misery against Arsenal, they were set to do it. I will know Martinez is a very top-notch goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Forget that he's playing for Aston Villa. You have to give him his flowers. He's a very good goalkeeper. And that is what Arsenal didn't say. And that's what most of us outsiders who are not happy when Arsenal had to let go of that particular good goalkeeper to a side like Aston Villa. And Aston Villa are really having the best time by the virtue of that goalkeeper being in between the posts for them. So I want to believe it was a revenge well served against Arsenal last weekend. They're talking about the game against Bournemouth. Yeah, Bournemouth were able to force Manchester United, or Manchester United, that way, forced Bournemouth to a 2-2 draw because they were leading. Bournemouth were winning. They were about having one of the biggest upset of the season.
Oh, they did have the biggest upset because they beat United 3-0 in the first leg.
No, I'm talking.
Yes, so they did have. Yes, so that's just it.
It was deja vu. It was deja vu right now. It was about to happen again. It would have been a mess because it would have been Bournemouth defeated United home and away.
Yeah.
Home and away last
season.
It would have easily slid into the annals of the history of the EPL. And to always make allusion to it every now and then. And you know how pleasant they can be sometimes for commentators. So Bournemouth, yes, no doubt they really had a very good one for themselves last weekend. Our own Solanke, Nigeria origin, though he has not featured for the Super Eagles or any of the underage team or age grade team of Nigeria. He created history for himself and for his club by being the highest goal scorer ever for Bournemouth in the EPL, scoring 17 league goals, 17 EPL goals in a season. Ahead, he's now bested the record of Joshua King, who used to be the player known for that in that team. Overall, this year he has scored 19 goals. I know he's in top form in terms of churning out goals. But playing against Unai Emery, playing against Emiliano Martinez, it's going to be a tough one. I don't see them carrying the day. I see Aston Villa, like you said, they just need this game to cement their position on top 4 position, and they will be playing in the UEFA Champions League. Did you see that coming? None of us saw that coming.
Nobody saw that coming.
So they have all to play for, and they should take it by force.
Yeah, they have to take it by force. Be 2-1 victory for Aston Villa at the end of the day. That's your prediction. Quickly to the final match of the Premier League for this weekend. We see Fulham host Liverpool. These two sides have two contracting game last week. Yes. For Fulham, they went to the London Stadium in the London Derby, packed full with energy, packed full with a whole lot of how should I even put it? A whole lot of excitement. They went on, and a certain player came into that match, provided 2 assists. A certain Nigerian provided 2 assists.
2 or 1 assist. I thought it's 1.
Okay, one assist. Sorry,
Yeah,
one
the
assist
second goal.
for Pereira, who scored twice in that London derby against West Ham United. And on the other part of England, the northeast of England, we expected that Liverpool should go on to win against Crystal Palace, but we didn't also see that coming. We didn't see that banana peel coming. Liverpool had all the chances they could have in that match, but at the end of the day, the match ended in a 1-0 victory for Crystal Palace, and Liverpool were disappointed because coming to that match they were battered at home again. Against Atlanta, nobody also see that match coming.
Yeah, 3-0. Please,
Yes,
yeah,
3-0 against Atlanta last week. So
and
it was just that Anfield did crumble last week, whether the Liverpool fans like it or not. Anfield crumbled, and they have to get that momentum back. This week they'll be playing Fulham at home at the Craven Cottage. What do you expect?
okay, I see Liverpool still in this. We not forget they lost against Atalanta, which was the beginning of
Yeah.
their woes. Yeah, because before the Atlanta game, they were a side that gave us one of the best highlights of the season, playing against your darling Manchester United.
United fan, yeah.
If you're a football fan, you didn't see that game, then you missed.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest highlights, apart from the Chelsea Manchester City game, that game,
and Chelsea Man United, and Chelsea Man
United game.
I know you were in Nigeria. I knew you were in Nigeria at that time, and
yeah, I was in Nigeria.
That match was going on.
I was in a bar.
To be frank, I was so, as a United fan. To be frank, I was just so disappointed the way United let Chelsea. But that's how football. Yes, that's how football. How football is. You have to keep on playing, keep on defending until the referee blow the final whistle. I think it's a lesson. It's a lesson for football. There are a lot of lessons to be learned this season for football by football players. That you have to keep on playing. You have to keep on defending. You have to keep on moving the ball forward to ensure that your team win or pick up points at the end of the day. We saw that. We also saw that yesterday night. Real Madrid stayed in that game till the 90 minutes, till extra time. City were playing left, right, center, getting the chances. They had 30 shots. 30 shots. That's the highest number of shots in the Champions League single match in the knockout stage for crying out loud.
And Madrid did not even go with their best goalkeepers.
They didn't go with their best goalkeepers. Two of their best goalkeepers are injured.
They went with that third choice.
In short, let's keep that for us.
Yeah. That is why I say the football has always been football. This is when you asked me. It has given us so much talking points, so much reason to talk about. And if we start digressing, we just at the end of the day, time will not be our friend, and which is already not more our friend on this show. So I want to believe that Liverpool should carry the day. I want to give it to them. But I've said it on other folders that I don't want Liverpool to win the league. I've told you on the sidelines. So also, I don't want Liverpool to win the league. I want our Nigerian brother Victor Boniface, who has won the Bundesliga, to win the CAF Player of the Year. So if a team like Liverpool wins the league, then Mo Salah is going to win the CAF Player of the Year. Over time, this are ingredients that has propelled some players to winning the CAF Player of the Year. So, but Victor Boniface, having won the Bundesliga, if God helps him, he wins the Europa. Then I'm not sure any other.
And also wins the German Cup as well, because they're in the finals of the German Cup.
Exactly. We promised the club that they still got 2 more cups.
Trophies.
Trophies. So I see them doing it.
Oh, marvelous. Okay, 2-1 victory for Liverpool at the end of the day. So let's see how that match pan out at the end of the day. So, guys, this is our Premier League prediction for this week. We also remember that there will be an FA Cup semi-final match that will be played this weekend as well, between Chelsea against Manchester City, or rather Manchester City against Chelsea, and United will play against Coventry City this weekend.